Today, I'm going to tackle two questions that are related and not just related to each other, but related to the general trend of what we've been discussing this past couple of days. So, today's question is this: do you have to be friendly to make money? Do you have to be friendly to be in business? Do you have to be friendly to be an entrepreneur? The answer is no, because you don't have to make friends to make money per se. You just have to be genuinely interested in solving people's problems. And generally, you'll find that when you are in the entrepreneurial space or in the business space, you're trying to solve two acute problems. Number one, you're trying to solve your own problems because you need some money. And then number two, and what's related to that is you need to solve another person's problems in order to be able to do that effectively. So you don't need to be friendly to be good in business, but you have to be a good problem solver. You have to be thinking about creative ways to solve your own problems. And that's where the different iterations of the different business ideas that you're going to come up with, so excuse me, that's where they're going to come from. So people who, I mean, we've all been to school with that lady, for instance, who seemed really book smart, and we all thought she was going to be a PhD. But then you run into her later on, and then she's selling fabrics or doing something textile related. I mean, that has happened to me, and I know some other people who have met that guy or that girl who took that different trajectory. It's not because textiles, for instance, or trading is a much more rewarding or intellectual feat than academics or being a trained lawyer. It's just that when you're thinking about how to make ends meet, you're going to be creative. You're going to come up with as many things as possible. And so that's the reason why you're going to find people who started off one way and end up the other way. It seems out of left field. It doesn't look like it makes sense. But to the person in question, it makes perfect sense because they were trying to solve their own problem. And just like in this textile example, if you're selling fabrics, in order to make some money, if you think fabrics are going to do it for you, you have to find ways of solving other people's problems that are textile related, helping them get textiles when they want the kind of fabrics they want or at the right price. Your price is your own USP. But you get the point that I'm trying to make, that it's from solving problems, your own problems and other people's problems, that you're going to be successful in business. And so you don't have to be friendly. Now, the thing is, um, in trying to figure out how you solve another person's problems, you have to be genuinely interested in them and their own circumstances. So, we can't run away from the fact that we're going to have to engage in some form of conversations or some form of relationships in order to be successful at solving other people's challenges. So, you don't have to be friendly, you don't have to be the life of the party, you have to be a good problem solver. But in trying to solve other people's problems, we need to have conversations with them and we need to have some sort of a relationship with them. But don't worry, if you are on the introverted side, you don't have to change your personality and you don't have to become all gregarious. You can stay the way you are, so long as you're genuinely interested in solving two sets of problems. One, your own problem of revenue. Number two, the other person's problem on the other end, your potential customer, because that is where the exchange of value and the interplay of value comes from. And if you're genuinely interested in solving those problems, you're going to need to know something about the other guy or the other girl on the other end of the line. So, do you have to be friendly? No. You have to be a good problem solver. But in trying to solve other people's problems, you have to know a little bit um, about them. Now, the second question, which is kind of related, is are good interpersonal skills the driving force of business, business connections, etc., etc., etc.? And the answer is not necessarily. First of all, what are interpersonal skills? Interpersonal skills are those skills that you need or that people have when it comes to interacting with people on a day to day, building rapport, being likable, finding commonality, getting along. I'm sure you guys get the gist. So that's what interpersonal skills are. So, are they the driving force of business and our profits? Not necessarily, because strong interpersonal skills are good, but you need to know what to aim your strong interpersonal skills at and what kind of agendas and relationships you should be aiming for and you should be pushing. Because there are people who have strong interpersonal skills and who get into business and think that's enough to make them successful. But then they realize that after a while they've been running around making a bunch of friends, but um, they haven't made a commensurate amount of income. So they look at their phone or their contact list or whatever, and you figure before I went into business, I had 10 friends. Now I'm in business, I have 200 friends. Um, I should be making a lot of money, but they're not. But that's the reason. But the reason is because they have strong interpersonal skills and they're exercising them, but not exercising them in an effective manner. You're making friends with people that you don't need to make friends with, and you're making friends with people who are the right kind of people, but you don't know how to um, move relationships along, what kind of agendas you need to pursue, and things of that nature. So, what's going to cure the defect here is for you to have strong sales skills. It is strong sales skills that are going to help you move the needle. Because if you're very good with people, you're one of those types who came out of the womb, everybody's your friend, you're gregarious and all that. If you have good sales skills, that'll help you figure out, who am I supposed to be talking to? What kind of problems do these people have? What is the underlying thing of value in this case? How do I understand that value? How am I going to communicate that value? How should we move this relationship from this stage to the next stage? How do I ask for the sale? Now that we've got the sale, how do I figure out that they're happy? Now that I know that they're happy, how do I get a recommendation? Or how do I get a referral? Or how do I get them to bring their friends, their family members, and their associates? Those are the sorts of things that strong selling skills are going to help you with. So, if you know how to make friends and influence people, of course, I'm sure some of you know that book. I can't remember who wrote it. What was the guy's name? Dale Carnegie. Yeah, I think so, Dale Carnegie. So, if you know how to win friends and influence people, your life of the party, that's absolutely good for you. But you're going to need a whole lot more. You're going to need strong sales knowledge, business development skills, business development principles, those sorts of things. That's what's going to actually move the needle. Or else you're going to run around making a bunch of friends and you're not going to make a bunch of money. So, okay, well, there's also some good news, or is that bad news? Okay, well, anyway, it's good news all around. So, if you have interpersonal skills, good for you. But there's something else you need to learn. If you don't have interpersonal skills, don't worry. It's not something you have to be born with. These are all learnable skills. And the thing is, when you start taking sales and business development seriously, you're going to learn some of those tips, tricks, principles, and practices that will help you build up your interpersonal skills. So, interpersonal skills are useful, but that's not what brings in the moolah at the end of the day. It's strong selling skills. Because if you make friends, but you don't know what to aim your friendship at or your strong interpersonal skills at, the kind of agendas you need to move to be effective, and how to grow relationships, how to ask for the sale, you're not going to be very successful in business. So, those are the two questions that I've been able to tackle today under 10 minutes, and I'm feeling rather chuffed. I'm proud of myself because I haven't done that in a while. Finished two questions in 10 minutes. So, thank you very much for your time and attention. Remember that you guys can ask me anything by hitting me up on WhatsApp at 080 2140. Again, ask me anything on WhatsApp at 080 2140. The country code for Nigeria is plus 234. Again, the country code is plus 234. I have also revived my Telegram account, so you can hit me up there as well using the same digits that I just gave. I think on WhatsApp you can also find people using some @ symbol or something like that. So I'll check my settings, figure out what that is, so I can also let you guys know, you Telegram people, so that if you don't get the number, you can just do that @ thing and search, and then you can find me. So thanks for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next episode.